Red's new camera lineup, lots to talk about. What's up everybody, Anthony Saratelli here of Jersey Filmmaker, and welcome back to finally another Road to Red episode, which I haven't done in a while just because I've been busy with other things, work, other episodes, etc. But a great topic to bring this back because your Road to Red just got easier. I want to talk about the new camera lineup that Red just announced a couple days ago. It is now Wednesday, May 23rd. They announced this on Monday sometime, May 21st, and I think I'm releasing this on May 24th, so just be aware of those days when I say today, yesterday, a couple days ago, you understand what time frame I'm talking about. So the question you may or may not be thinking is, how good or bad is this? So if you don't know what happened, Red announced a new product portfolio. They changed their camera lineup, and instead of offering all these different combinations of bodies and sensors, they've moved to one body, the DSMC2 body, and they are offering different sensors that you can package with that body. What this essentially does, from what I gather, is that it makes it a lot cheaper for Red to produce their cameras, making it a lot cheaper for us to buy. And I mean a lot cheaper. They've cut down the prices by up to $25,000. Starting at the top, the Red Weapon Monstro 8K VistaVision used to be about $80,000, and they've knocked that down to $55,000. The Red Weapon 8K Super 35 was $50,000, now $25,000. And the only other sensor that they're offering is the 5K Gemini sensor, which was just released and was $25,000, is now $20,000. So they've reduced their prices dramatically by, again, saving on the production side, I think. So this, on the outside, looks like a very, very good thing for everybody. However, it may not be good for everybody, and I'll get to that in a second. Me being one of those people, unfortunately, but some of us are gonna get kicked in the butt here, and I hope that there's a way around that. But let's keep talking. Moving towards the future with Red cameras, they have done a really awesome thing by reducing their prices, making these cameras much more affordable for us to buy, to operate 8K cameras and use these on our projects. It's a really cool thing that they've done to give us this opportunity to acquire these cameras for much cheaper than they were offering them. They still offer the same upgradability paths, which is awesome, makes their cameras almost never obsolete, which is fantastic. You can start with a 5K Gemini if you want, and you can always upgrade to an 8K Super 35 Helium and then up to a Monstro VistaVision. It's very cool that they do this. Not too many camera companies offer this, and I love that about Red. But one of the problems with this update is current owners are getting kind of screwed. And let me talk about why, and it's fairly easy to understand. The Monstro was worth $80,000 2 days ago. If you bought it 3 days ago, your camera automatically got devalued to about $55,000. I promise you that if you bought a Monstro for $80,000 a week ago, you could go sell it to somebody pretty much brand new for $70,000, let's say. Now, somebody might not even be willing to take it off your hands for $50,000 because a new one's $55,000. This goes for the Weapon as well. These cameras in one day, in a second, got devalued about $25,000. That's great if you haven't purchased one yet and you're about to, you just saved 25 grand. On the other side of it though, as an investor of the camera and looking forward and upgrading, you just pretty much got taken for $25,000. If you purchased the Helium or the Monstro a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, recently, this camera's value just dropped so much, almost cut in half. The Weapon did get cut in half. So this really sucks for current owners. I don't want to get on Red's case right away. I have started a conversation with them. I hope that there's something in line better than what they are offering online at the moment for people who have recently acquired these cameras, and the depreciation of the cameras hasn't really taken effect yet, because otherwise it really feels like they just cut you off at the knees and pretty much, again, took $25,000 from you. So obviously I'm not happy about that. I've again started a conversation with them. I hope to be an advocate for people who are in my shoes, and we can somehow smooth this transition out. I know this is business. I know things change. I know technology changes. But in this situation, the market value didn't change. There's been no release of another camera that's pushed this camera down. They didn't even release a new camera, and I'm talking about Red, didn't release a new camera of their own to bump down all their other cameras. They just literally revamped their business model in a sense, which again is freaking fantastic for the future. But for people who just bought in or have invested in Red cameras in the past, it hurts. So I'm just expressing my feelings at the moment, and I hope I'm not blurting this stuff out too soon because it just happened, but I felt like I should get this out there and let you know what's going on. Again, well, I'm gonna say this one more time because it's very important. What they're doing is awesome. You can get these really high quality cameras that produce awesome images and have a great workflow for much cheaper than they were offering them. I love it, I love it, I love that, I love it. But I just happen to be in a spot where it hurts a little bit because monetarily, I just got punched in the gut. Let's look at this one more way. I wanna give you another example, just in case you're not understanding completely what I'm saying. Here we go. I bought the Red Weapon Helium 8K at the end of last year for $50,000. If I want to upgrade to a Monstro VistaVision, it will cost me an upgrade fee of $40,000. If I don't do it before June 30th, they are holding on to the old price of $30,000 until June 30th, which is just over a month from now. So if I don't come up with $30,000 in about a month, it will then cost me $40,000 down the road. So let's say I'm not able to do that for 3 months. 3 months down the road, I finally want to upgrade to a VistaVision, and I pay $40,000 plus the $50,000 that I already spent on the weapon. That's $90,000 for a camera now valued at $55,000. It used to be $80,000. So if you bought a $50,000 weapon Helium and then you upgraded for $30,000, which was the price, you're paying $80,000 for an $80,000 camera. Now they want you to pay anywhere from $80,000 if I upgrade within a month, or $90,000 for a $55,000 camera. See how this doesn't feel right? The craziest part is, if I'm not mistaken, the weapon Helium is the only body that is the same as the body they are now offering. So the only thing I think they'll be replacing is the sensor, and that's gonna cost me $40,000. Before, I bought the weapon for $20,000 more than the Epic because it offered that extra bit of brain power, which gave me 8K 60 frames a second, which is more usable for TV and movies and more rentable per se. So I spent that extra $20,000 to get the more powerful brain, which has a little bit more processing power and gets you that extra 30 frames per second. Now I have to spend another $40,000, totaling $90,000 for a $55,000 camera that has a larger sensor and does the same thing. It just doesn't feel right. So anyway, I know this became a little bit of a rant, and I'm sorry for that. But in conclusion, what they're doing is really great as far as lowering prices for us to acquire these cameras, but being a current owner and what they just did kind of sucks. So I hope that there's a more reasonable resolution for all this and that I don't have to cry to you anymore about my monetary issues and the devaluation of this camera. But I just wanted to put this out there so I could help you understand a little bit more about what just happened with their new lineup, which again, awesome. If you're gonna go buy one, great prices. If you're a current owner and didn't understand what just happened or didn't know or didn't even think to look into it, guess what? Start looking. The only bad part is, and I don't expect them to do this, is give you a refund for the amount that you overpaid. I wouldn't expect that. I just hope that there's a better upgrade path or a cheaper upgrade path for those who have spent and invested so much money in their cameras that they just dropped prices in. So now your path to get there costs way more than it should. I just hope that they do something about that. So anyway, that's all for this. Man, I'm a little fired up and I'm sorry about that, but I do love Red and I love their cameras and I love their company, so we're gonna talk through this. But if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell so you get alerts to all future episodes. If you have any comments or questions, you can of course leave them below or contact me on any of my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, @Jersey Filmmaker. Thanks so much for watching. Now might be the time to buy a Red camera. Not so much when I did, but that ain't gonna stop me. So remember to get out there, don't wait, go create. I'll see you next time.